what is the most dangerous threat to a nation's success? In his study, When Nations Die, Jim Nelson Bleck outlined 10 factors that have appeared in great societies of the past and led to their decline and fall. Some of the most prevalent of these factors include a loss of respect for traditions, a loosening of traditional foundations, a rise in materialism, a decline of morality, and a decay in religious belief. Though wars and famines may be detrimental, there's nothing quite as dangerous to a society as a loosening of the cultural values and a deterioration of morality. This story seems to repeat itself throughout history. Countries become all too comfortable in their prosperity, and they begin to tolerate or even welcome immorality into their homes. It eats away at their culture until laws of entropy or an almighty God himself can no longer allow for such irresponsibility to live in a state of prosperity. This story has repeated itself again and again throughout history, showing that what is most dangerous to societies are not wars and famines, but really a decline in moral values that those nations are founded upon. With this understanding, leaders of the future, researchers of the past, and ourselves must ask the question, what about America? How long is it before we fall prey to so many dangers, or have we already? On February 7th, 1788, George Washington wrote a letter to Marquis de Lafayette saying, "It appeared to me then no less than a miracle that the delegates from so many different states which you know are so different from each other in their manners, circumstances, and prejudices, should unite together in forming a national government so little liable to well-founded objections." Close quote. America was not founded merely upon the brilliance of great leaders. There was great providence working in our favor. America itself is a miracle. And the only way to maintain such a miracle is by living under the values and the traditions under which that miracle was instituted. Peter Marshall suggested, may we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. But I'm afraid I must disagree. It is true that freedom always offers you the choice that is best used to do what is right. But here, the freedom that comes with being an American is much more than the opportunity to do what is right. It is the duty to do so. John Adams stated, "We have no government armed with the power capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other." Close quote. A country made for a moral people. America was not made to be self-sustaining. It was created to house the people of America that would be religious and moral until the end. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. The question we have to ask ourselves now is, are we living as these kinds of people? Are we living as a moral and just and religious people that America requires? The answer is yes and no. In the end, America is on a downward trend that we must stop it from going towards, or else we will lose our country of freedom and rights that is so precious to us. In America, your freedom is not just the opportunity to do what is right, it is the duty to do so. Sam Adams stated that morals and religion are the only solid foundation for public liberty and happiness. If we wish to maintain our country of happiness, freedom, and rights, we must work to maintain the traditions and the values that it was instituted under. We must fight to maintain that culture under which that miracle was instituted. We must work to maintain a culture where conscience, duty, and religion are fought for and protected. We must first make sure that we teach and expect the fulfillment of personal responsibility, not just in our civic duties, but in all the things it takes to be the upstanding person that America requires. We must work to fight against the belief that there is no right and wrong by choosing that which is right in every circumstance, and protecting that moral compass within us, or in the words of George Washington, laboring to keep alive the celestial flame inside our breasts that is called conscience. Lastly, we must work to promote religion and a belief in a higher power, no matter how controversial. According to Pew Research, America is of the wealthiest nations, and among those wealthy nations, it is the one that values religion the very most. If we wish to maintain our country, we must maintain that value and that faith in a higher being. In the end, our country is great not because of the freedom that we are given. That freedom is not a gift to be used in whatever we please. It is a tool to be able to be used to protect the morals and the values that our country was founded upon. We are lucky and blessed to live in a country conceived under those powerful values. And now we are engaged in a great battle. A battle testing whether our nation or any nation so conceived can well exist. It is a battle not fought in the trenches or on battlefields, but in homes and classrooms. A battle to prove that what makes America special is not great leaders, but good people. A battle to prove that America is great because of the values that it is based off of. Freedom is not just the gift to be able to do what you please. It is the duty to do what is right. We must go forth in our lives choosing what is right, not just because it is right, but because it is the only way that we can possibly maintain our country and our freedoms. Thank you.